Hi, hello, and welcome on today's webinar. Let's wait a minute or two for everyone to join, and we will start. In the meantime, guys, you can send on chat where are you from which place you are recording. In the meantime, we are waiting. All right, I think we can start. So welcome again, everyone, on today's webinar. Today we have very interesting topic about scaling up the regression testing and why this is real challenge for organizations, for companies that they are using test automation. So today's session is not about any automation tools. It's about the problem with scalability of automation, because many organizations, many companies believe they have already solved the regression testing problem because they have automation in place. But they reach the point where the automation itself doesn't scale up, and we need to kind of find the new ways to scale up regression testing with our system. All right, so let's go to agenda. So first we will define what is the scalability problem for regression testing, why traditional automation hits a ceiling, so where is the end of how much we can automate, the coverage gap problem, then we will see the differences between automation and autonomous testing, and how we can move from simple automation to real autonomous testing. Then I have a real world scenario which I created to show you some of our new features for test automation and autonomy. Then we will talk a bit about building a scalable testing strategy, and then how autonomous coverage impacts our business. And by the end of today's webinar, we'll have also some time for questions and answers. All right, so let's start with the regression and the scalability problem. So why does the regression testing break at scale? So this issue is usually not a lack of effort. It's usually the mismatch between how system grows and how our testing operates. So in reality, business complexity grows continuously. Yeah, so there are new processes, new entities, new integrations, new variants of existing processes, and then the regression scope is usually something that we define once. Maybe we update it with some periods, like incrementally we update some test cases, but usually the regression scope gets defined, and it is not evolving together with our dynamic system. So so there is a gap on the testing coverage. So the fundamental problem, we can say, is not that teams don't create enough testing. The problem is that the regression scope is static, and the reality in business is dynamic. Our business is evolving, if we like it or not. And so our test cases should evolve along with our business. So this is usually the problem with scaling up the regression testing, that we create them once, use them for a while, and after some time we see that we get in gaps in the coverage. Yeah, so on the chart, you can see this, what I exactly said. The red or pink maybe line on this chart shows us how usually the business scales with the time, and how our testing usually scales. So testing usually scales in linear way, which is much different than the business complexity, which is growing much faster. So the space in between our regression scope and our business scope of what people really do, what processes we really do in the system, creates this gap. So yeah, initially automation of course helps. It improves speed. It improves also efficiency of testing compared to manual testing. But as the scope grows, the maintenance effort increases. So there is a point where we cannot add more testing because we won't be able to maintain this amount of testing. So there is a ceiling, we can say, to how much we can automate with traditional test automation. All right, and then the problem which we see is that teams very often shifts from validating that the system with the test cases. They shift to maintaining the test cases first than actually validating the system. So yeah, we see this as well on the market, that customers very often spend a lot of time on the test case maintenance, more than actually running the test cases. All right, so sorry. Yeah. So why traditional automation hits the ceiling? Yeah. So script libraries grow faster than the teams they can maintain them. We said that. But the next thing is that if our business is evolving very fast and we make a lot of changes to our dynamics, to our system, our business, then we may have the problem that even small changes may break a lot of scripts, a lot of test cases that were already defined. So this challenge happens if our scope is growing and growing. Yeah, maintenance effort begins to dominate over validation effort. Yeah, so this is what we said, that we can see that if we add more scripts and more automation, more test cases, then the maintenance starts to be a very big problem, because we spend more time on maintaining the test cases than using them. Of course, coverage becomes harder to evolve if our testing team cannot keep up with the changes to dynamics, and this is very hard to be done with manual or testing or traditional automation. Then our coverage gap will increase and increase constantly. And then the automation starts making limits, not enabling the progress. But to be fair, automation is not a problem. In fact, automation is absolutely necessary to scale up our regression testing. But automation alone does not solve the scalability problem. Yeah, because over time, a new problems appears, like maintenance, dependencies, small changes that breaks tests, and so on, so on. So automation remains essential, but becomes difficult to scale up with the growing business. All right, so let's go next. So why most organizations test only a fraction of real business activities, and why this coverage gap occurs? So yeah, so regression scope is very often defined on very well-known processes, on the documented processes, or the processes how we designed them. But usually the test cases that we have, they are not from the actual usage, from how the processes are executed right now these days. Very often we are testing our assumption of the process, not the real path, real flow of the process. So that's one thing why the coverage gap is increasing. Real business activity creates far more variance than test cases ever covered. Users usually, when they work manually in the system, they are working differently than steps of our test cases will say. So users very often they take shortcuts, they create variants, they do the business processes in few different ways, not always the same way, not always one learned path, as very often test cases look. So the quick question we can have is not if we are testing enough, rather we can ask if we are testing the right things. And very often this is the gap as well. So we are testing the assumptions of the processes, but not the reality, not the real paths, real patterns, how users works. So at the end, we end up in the situation that what is tested regularly doesn't equal what is actually used and required for testing in our production. Because in reality, business processes are not the static flow charts; they are dynamic behavior, constantly evolving in production. So this is the main reason why the test cases very often cannot keep up with the business, because business evolves and is dynamic, and very often our test cases, our regression suits, they are static, and they do not evolve that fast as the business. Okay. So on this slide, we can say this is very standard situation. Yeah. So what we or organizations usually test are the core flows, happy paths, predefined processes, and what remains untested are the variants, exemptions, real usage, real patterns, and of course edge cases, edge behavior. And no surprise, most of the issues that we can have on our production environment, they come from the right side. So those untested things not tested. So we can get to the point that we have a lot of test cases, a lot of automation, but still we will have problem on our production because we are testing on the core flows, happy paths, predefined things, not the variants, some special occasion patterns, edge cases, and so on. So this is the problem in scalability of our regression testing. So if regression testing today is based on assumptions, and those assumptions quickly become outdated, what can we do? Sorry. What is the challenge? The real challenge is understanding what actually happens in the system. And this is where our observability becomes critically needed. Because if you don't observe reality of your system, you cannot align your testing with this reality. And this is the key point, because you cannot have autonomous testing without observability. So if we want to go from automation to autonomous testing, the observability of Dynamics 365 environment is a key, is a critical to bridge that gap in test coverage, because observability allows us to see real flows and real usability of the system. So autonomy requires awareness, we can say. Yeah. So if we want if we allow observability to work on Dynamics 365, we have this possibility option to go from predefined scopes into more continuously discovered scope, and from manual maintenance of automated test cases to adaptive validation. So if the changes are done on our production, we see users work differently on already known processes, we can make the changes to our test cases. We can adapt our test cases just after the specific flow happened. Or we can see with observability what things are not tested yet. Yeah, so observability is crucial if we want to bridge the gap between business reality and scope of our regression testing. So we can say automation executes what you define, what we defined as a test cases, as a scripts, and observability reviews what we missed, what was untested, what we didn't consider critical or priority for testing. And yeah, right now I would like to show some example how autonomous testing can look like. Of course, I will show some prepared scenario of our autonomous testing. You can see how I can move from discovered session of the user into automated script without any manual effort, without me making changes to the test case. Because this is crucial, that if we want to go from traditional automation to autonomous testing, we need tools that will work for us, and of course AI here can help. All right, let's run the video, and you will see how the observability helps in changing scope with for testing. All right, so let's execute the video. It starts in discovery by X+. Here I'm finding my session, which I took today. So this is the session from today's noon. And I was doing some things inside Dynamics, and I thought that it would be good case to be used as a test case to optimize it as a real test case. So I can take this saved session from discovery, and now I can import my full session, all the steps that I did in Dynamics to executive autonomous for testing, or testing by X+. So in testing, we have option to import any pattern, business pattern that was discovered by discovery, or any session that was observed. So if user was doing something in Dynamics, discovery observes that, and then testing can import steps that users did in Dynamics when he was observed. So now I will import my session from Dynamics to testing. So let's see how it works. So I have to select environment and then find out my session. Of course, I can do that by session ID. So okay, I found my session. And as you can see, my steps from discovery, all the steps that I did manually in the system, they were imported to the testing application. But of course, this script is not the test case yet. You can see that steps are unfinished. I have some duplicate steps. So this is reality if we see how business users, how users work with Dynamics. Even if we can see their sessions, very often users take very strange paths, very different paths when they are working manually in the system than how the test cases are defined. In test cases, in the test automation, we need to follow the sequence. We need to include every step. But yeah, when we see how users are working, yeah, we may see duplicates of steps, unfinished processes, and so on. So that's why after importing, I'm checking if this imported session can be even executed as a test case. So I executed my script in the background. And also I checked screenshots options. So I will be able to see if those captured or observed steps of the user can be used as a test case. And as I can see, it cannot. Of course, I'm getting warning on posting because steps of adding main account, they are missing in the test case. And also my posting is not finished because I don't have step to confirm posting. So yeah, even this kind of execution, even in this kind of session, can be used within testing by X+, and a feature that we are on the finishing lines of testing. But I wanted to really show you this today, which is AI Optimize feature. This AI Optimize can use different AI models to find and fix broken steps in the script. It can find some missing logic in the script and fix imported steps from discovery, imported steps of the user, of observed user, as a real test case. So it can kind of optimize the real flow into the test case requirements. And what are the options of AI Optimize? We have option to add our prompt, to add our own instructions. We can also use files, screenshots to provide more knowledge for the optimizer, to maybe tell him what especially you would like to change in the process, or what should be added. And there are also some other settings like the timeouts, iterations, and some other things. Right, my optimizer was ready to be used. So let's see how the optimization will go. So by default, optimizer takes 10 attempts to make changes, to fix the process. Initially, let me pause it. Initially, it checked already existing steps. So immediately it saw that there are duplicate steps, like right click on the lookup, click button. Those steps he found as a duplicate, as a not necessary in the process. So first thing that he did was removing those garbage or trashy steps from the process. Right? Yeah, I sped up the video a bit, so yeah, the full process took a few minutes to optimize the script, but on the video it should be a bit faster. Yeah, so after first attempt, he checked that removing steps was not all that he can do in the script. Now he see that if he needs to post the invoice, he can add type value to main account field, and also yeah, here he didn't add the click OK. Okay, so first he just saw that he can add steps to add main account, and of course he picked also the value for main account. He can randomize values, or we can even prompt what kind of value we want to use. If we don't specify that, he will try to add the data by itself. In my case, it was okay. It added the right main account. Yeah, then after a second attempt, it saw that the goal of the script is still not achieved. The invoice cannot be posted with the script yet. So that's why we have third attempt. And third attempt, well, yeah, let's see what he will do actually. All right, so yeah, at the third attempt, he checked that the click OK was missing to finalize invoice, to finalize the process. So now he at the third attempt, he knew that click OK needs to be added. So now it runs the process, runs the script for the for the third time. And yeah, let's see. I don't remember exactly, but I think there would be one more attempt for optimization. Okay, test execution passed, but yeah, then the message says that the click OK had a problem, so it couldn't be executed. So it automatically saw it as an issue and proposed some fixes for XPubs for selectors of the click OK step. So that's why it took next attempt to fix click OK. And I think this will be the last attempt. And let's see what happens. All right, yeah. So after four attempts, he posted the invoice. Whole script worked. Sorry. After fifth attempt, the whole script worked. So now he do the last run to be completely sure that the process is okay, and we can see that the test execution passed. So now he will summarize the optimization. And yeah, I will pause here. So after optimization, we can see what was modified, what lines were modified, what he added, and what he removed from the process. And then we can decide if we want to replace original steps of our test case, or we want to create copy out of optimization. Yeah, and below we have also information about tokens used, total time, how much it took. It took me 12 minutes to optimize this script, and it costed below $1. Yeah, so right now Optimizer is under the testing phase. We are verifying different models, different options for the optimizer. But as you can see on the screen on the video, that it already works. What will change for sure? We will add possibility to optimize more than one script at the same time. So you will be able to schedule optimization of let's say 10 scripts, maybe 20 scripts overnight to get the report, the optimized report the next day, so you can accept changes or dismiss changes. Yeah, in my case, I used to replace original steps with the changes from optimization. So yeah, as you can see, my script completely changed. And now last step for me is to run the test case. Yeah, so while this is running, I think I can speed this up. Yeah. Yeah, and after 40 seconds, I can see my script, instead of warning, gave me the success. So this is how we can maintain our test autonomy. We can use Discovery application to listen to the users, what they do on the production environments, see their real paths, real patterns that they take to do the business processes. Then any relevant execution pattern that we would like to use as a test case can be imported to the testing application. And then we can use AI Optimizer to, of course, fix some problematic steps for test automation. Because yeah, like I said, users they do not work with Dynamics in the way how test automation requires. So there are a lot of dummy steps, unnecessary steps in the process, but you don't need to correct that manually. AI Optimizer do those things. And as you can see, I was able to have a nice test case, create a test case out of the broken session of my user. So even broken session can be turned on into the test case. Right. So let's go to the next slide. So how how the autonomous testing solves the coverage issue. Yeah, so first we need to understand that autonomous coverage is not the single capability. First, it is complete system. First, we need to observe reality, capture real user activities, then identify relevant processes, variants, or maybe flows that users take that we are not testing and we should start testing. Then we can add those test cases to testing application, adapt them automatically with AI optimizer, and then validate our system continuously to compare what we are testing against what we are not testing with every cycle. So with the observability options to optimize unperfect user flows into the test cases, our coverage can evolve proportionally to growing system. All right, let's go to the next slide. So what actually changes with autonomous coverage? First, coverage becomes more dynamic instead of static. So this is what we said today. You're no longer validating a predefined system, like assumptions of the system, assumptions of our process. With autonomous coverage and autonomous testing, we are validating the real system behavior. So this is the biggest difference, I would say, between automation testing and autonomous testing. Yeah? Second thing is testing effort shifts from from the maintenance to the validation. So we spend less time on maintaining test cases and more time on executing them and validating our system. And this is a huge change because today maintenance is usually the biggest hidden cost of test automation and test automation activities. For the third, the test scope evolves with the business. So no longer a gap in testing is created. So as process change, coverage follows automatically with discovery or observability that can observe users and optimizers that can fix the test cases. And the most important outcome is confidence, because validation reflects reality, reflects real paths, real patterns of the users, not our outdated assumptions of the processes. And finally, the topic of today, this is the scalability. You can support more complexity, more releases, more changes can be tested if we follow real business, if we follow real paths of the users. And that's the key. So scaling up regression testing is no longer about creating more test cases, creating more scripts. It's about keeping coverage aligned with our evolving system. And this can be done only by using test autonomy, the observability, and autonomous creation of the test cases. Right, that would be all from my side today. Thank you for the attention. You can use QR code to visit our website, especially check all the events that we will visit, so you can meet us in live. And if you have any questions, please use the chat for that. Thank you. Let me see the chat then. All right, I don't see any. Just want to check one more thing. Right. So if there are no questions, thank you very much for the attention today. Visit our websites, check our materials, check our products, especially the test autonomy, and see you on the next webinar. Thank you.